Everybody doing? Good morning to everybody. Friday. God bless this day. God bless everybody in the United States of America. God bless my country of Mexico, and God bless my city of Tijuana. It's really nice talking to you guys on this morning. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News at America's Voice. God bless everybody. How's everybody doing? Hopefully your guys are doing great. Let's thank God that we have a mind that we can think, a heart that we can feel, a voice that we can talk, and eyes that we can see every day. Thank Him for the little things and the big things and whatever that we get this day, you know, as an appreciation of life. You know, thanks to God as an appreciation of life. This thing that holds the phone is just is bad. It's not giving me the results that I want, so the phone is all over the place, and I apologize for that, but that's what I got, so let's deal with it. How's everybody doing? Good morning to everybody. Wow, what kind of topics do we got this morning? And they're really interesting and they're really important. I will talk about the 500-ton bust that happened right now in Tijuana. We'll talk about it a little bit later. You know, minutes before we end the live feed, I will talk about that. Let me just get this thing, man. This is getting awful. This is not giving me the result that I want. Right there. Let's talk about the more than 500 operation that it was discovered by law enforcement in LA of human trafficking. That operation was busted a few days ago. It was called Operation Reclaim and Rebuild. Reclaim and Rebuild, where it says more than 518 were arrested, and along with this statistics, and this stats are really important because it talks about the human trafficking, how it's still happening, and how all these Congress people from California, the congressmen from California, all these diplomats from California, they don't say nothing about child trafficking. They don't say nothing about human trafficking. They don't say nothing about child smuggling, human smuggling, but also they don't say nothing about the white slave trafficking. That is really a thing that it needs to be addressed. It's a thing that is happening. But this human trafficking bust happened in LA. It's an operation that is called Reclaim and Rebuild. And more than 518 people were arrested. 90 of them, let me get the actual stat. 90 of them were rescued. 90 adult and juvenile victims were rescued during the week. More than 518, an operation that is called Reclaim and Rebuild was busted over here in California, in LA. Reclaim and Rebuild. More than 518 were arrested, and approximately the number that they're giving is nearly 90 victims were rescued between adults and juveniles in this operation that is called Reclaim and Rebuild. Amazing. Unfreaking amazing. And you know, this is the things that I'm repeating every day, and I repeat them with a purpose. I'm sorry for the sun in my eyes. I repeat them every day. Every single day I repeat them, and I repeat these things every day because it is the emphasis of the problem. It is the emphasis of the problem, and the emphasis is that the government of Mexico, it's now collaborating and they're working with the government of the United States. One, but before the caravans, before, this mass migration of influx, before, President Trump, there was a huge corruption of human smuggling and human trafficking, and nobody was trying to do nothing about it, and it was not that vocal, and it was not that viral. And this is great for California, as California is one of the most it's a sanctuary state, and this is great for California as more than 518 were arrested in this operation that is called Reclaim and Rebuild by the law enforcement of LA. And more than 90 victims were rescued. Nearly 90 victims were rescued between adults and children and minors, juveniles. Tells you about how much the government of the United States has told Mexico that they need to invest since the caravan started. And why? Why the government of Mexico? Why do you guys think that the government of Mexico now is investing on human smuggling and on this? Hold on a minute. My God, I'm having problems with every broadcast. It talks about, and I apologize for that. The stabilizer right here, it's broken, so I having problems with that. But it talks about how much Mexico has invested since the United States has been persistent about human smuggling, human trafficking, child trafficking, white slave trafficking. How much it's been happening. And since the president Donald J. Trump took over, one of the things that he has been with ICE agents and government and the Department of Homeland Security, one of the things has been child trafficking and human smuggling for him. That it has been, it needs to stop, or it needs to decrease. And I will give you some stats right now that are pretty amazing, how it has decreased and how it has increased because of caravans. And all these statistics and all these stats, you don't see this Congress people that they are Democrats and the majority of these people are liberals, that they are in your Congress and politicians on our side of Mexico, they're from the left, but they don't talk about human smuggling and these statistics. Now, since 2018, when all the caravans started happening, the United States was really persistent with Mexico on investing, more security measures, more equipment, more personnel for the human trafficking and the human smuggling in Mexico. So Mexico has invested more than $3 million, on equipment and on systems, and also on parallel systems for information to be working with the United States government. That is really important. That is extremely important. The reason why is because now the caravans are started. It is a matter of security, and it's a need now. It's a necessity for the Mexican government to work with the United States government, and the United States government also vice versa to work with the Mexican government. They need to be working together. Now, we already talked about these stats, but I want to give you some statistics so you guys can know. As I said in the years before, in the broadcast before, in 2018, 4,800 families, fake families, were found through the borders of the United States when these caravans started. 4,800 families. 4,800 families. That's amazing. That is an amazing number. 4,800. Now, a statistic that just came, and stat, is that reports that decrease on fake families. a decrease, a major decrease on fake families. That is, in 2019, it says that more than 1,000 were detected. More than 1,000. And in 2018 was 4,800. Between 2018 and 2019. Now, on the last months, since September on 2019 till now, more than 1,000. So it has decreased a lot. A lot it has decreased. A lot. Immensely. It has decreased a lot on human trafficking and human smuggling, and also on fake families. This comes with all the security measures that the President of the United States of America is taking, working with the Mexican government. You know, the Pompeo working with Marcelo Ebrard, although Marcelo Ebrard is a crooked, a politician. But this comes with the tariff. This comes with all this stuff that has been happening. So the human smuggling and human trafficking has decreased. Also fake families. Now, there's the thing that I don't see Veronica Escobar talking about. And this is a really important stat that it just came out. The Department of Homeland Security has detected on 2019, right now they gave out this stat, on the last months between September, October, November, and December, 200 fake families through El Paso. 200 fake families through El Paso. Poor children. And it's because of those kind of statistics and those kind of stats that we do this live feeds against this Congress people, that they are on your country. That they don't talk about the fake families. They don't talk about the human smuggling, the child trafficking, and the white slavery of trafficking. More than 200 fake families that were discovered in El Paso on the last months, the last 6 months of the year of 2019, and now. It has been a decrease, but it also is not stopping. And you don't see these politicians like Veronica Escobar talking about this. Now, the Secretary of Exterior Relations in Mexico is not agreeing with the United States in regards to doing DNA testing. And you know why? To doing DNA testing for all these fake families, all these trafficking of children. And as you just, I was just talking about this huge bust of this line of traffickers that just got arrested. More than 518 in LA got arrested on this human smuggling, human trafficking line of people. More than 518, and nearly close to 90 were rescued with adults and juveniles. Now, why the Secretary of Exterior Relations in Mexico does not agree with the United States on doing DNA testing with fake families and children? Why? Oh my God. Because the Mexico is in the International Pact of Immigration. And Mexico is under now the same guidelines in their constitution and the immigration laws. They are together with the United Nations laws. So the United Nations comes with, several different departments. The International Commission of Human Rights. And these ones are really implemented in our country. When they try to do DNA testing, or they try to find out if that child is his, or they try to find out if that child is abducted, or that child, that child is on a fake family, or that woman is being forced to get married so she can get trafficked to the United States. They're saying, let's wait and analyze the situation. You don't know why this family is forcing this kid. Probably it was, mistreated in Guatemala, or mistreated, being violated and raped in Honduras. We don't know the situation. Let's analyze before we violate his rights of doing a DNA testing. Amazing. So they are not agreeing, not because they are against the policies of doing DNA testing with the United States. they are disagreeing because of the factors now that Mexico is involved because of this international pacts of immigration. That is amazing. Now look at these stats that I'm gonna give you. In 2018, 609 judicial cases were registered. 2018. Why the increase and the decrease from 2015 and an increase on 2018? Why? Caravans. Mostly caravans. And all these white slave trafficking has been mostly involved with a huge influx of migrants that is happening through our borders. Now, the United States, the Department of Homeland Security reported that in 2018, 609 judicial cases were registered for white slave trafficking. Look how the decrease goes. 298 in 2017 judicial cases for white slavery trafficking. In 2016, 288 judicial cases for white slave trafficking. And in 2015, it goes up to 250 on judicial cases for white slave trafficking. Why it went up all of a sudden? Why it went up? But there's no crisis at the border. There is none. There is none, right? More than 200 fake families that were found since September to now in El Paso. Where do you see Veronica Escobar talking about that? You don't see nothing about that, right? You don't see all these Congress people like Rashida Tlaib, they came over here in separation of families, crying at the wall, talking about the increase of judicial cases on white slave trafficking. You don't see her talking about that, right? No, it's all about the fake families. And you don't see how the United Nations is affecting countries. And the United States is the only country, one of the only countries that is doing something about DNA testing on all these child trafficking, human smuggling, and white slave trafficking. Well, child trafficking mostly, and fake families. 4,800 were detected on 2018 till September. Until September till now, 1,000 were detected. A huge decrease. Huge. Huge. Why that big of a decrease? Because of the border security issue that the United States government is doing. So is it helping? Is it helping? The walls work. Enforcing policies on immigration to stop child trafficking and human smuggling and white slavery doesn't work. Who's not liking it? All these coyotes, all these activists and liberals that they're pushing immigration through certain borders in certain parts of our country and lying to them that they can get the asylum like this and there's no suffering when they Facebook, drop my feed. Amazing. Facebook, drop my feed. I'm freaking amazing. I'm talking about just facts. And Facebook just dropped my feed. This are just Facebook. It's just facts and numbers. I don't know why you get mad. I don't know why you get mad, Facebook. It's just facts and numbers. Why you drop my feed if I'm talking about facts and numbers only? I'm freaking amazing. So I will see if I can get the two videos together. Good morning to everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice. How's everybody doing? Huge topics today in the morning, and of course right away Facebook dropped my feed right now. As we were we were discussing about, oh my God, I am having so much problems with the communication factor today, and really I need something that it would work in my car for putting the phone. Because hold on people, hold on. So we were talking about facts in terms of the huge bust that just happened in LA. More than 518 were arrested in this human trafficking operation that is called Reclaim and Rebuild. Nearly 90 got rescued between adults and juveniles. And we were talking about how many fake families that were found on 2018 till September, between 2017 and 18 till September. To September, November, and 2018. 2019, 1,000. It went down 1,000. 1,000. It went down to 1,000 fake families that they were found. We also were talking about the Secretary of Exterior Relations, how they don't want to do DNA testing on childs because now the United Nations is so involved in our country that it's taking the decisions over our Constitution and immigration laws. And also, we were talking about why these congresswomen are not talking about this. The cases, the judicial cases on white slavery, that, you know, it's really important for you guys to know how many judicial cases have been registered of white slave trafficking in the years of 2018 and 2018 till now. It is amazing. Nobody's talking about it. It is a small number, Oscar. 609 white slave trafficking. It went up since the caravan, and now it's decreasing. And you don't see Veronica Escobar talking about the 200 fake families that they were discovered in the last months of in 2019. You don't see her talking about that. But as we were talking, the government of the United States has registered 609 judicial cases on white slave trafficking in 2018. 609, and it decreased right now. It decreased. It was decreasing. The number was down in 2017 and 298, 288 in 2016, and 215. And 250 in 2015. Why the number was so low before? There were no caravans. There were no caravans. It is amazing, people. And also, the government of Mexico informs that in 2018, 387 victims were discovered by sexual trafficking, in comparison to 667 in 2017, 740 in 2016, and 1,014 in 2015, which arrests go to 15% of men, 66% of women, and 19% of children. What does this tell you? Why has the numbers decreased since 2015 till now? Policies, immigration policies that they've been implemented. It is amazing. It's amazing, people. Good morning to everybody. How's everybody doing? We're talking about some statistics and facts, and Facebook completely took me off of my live feed. But we were talking about the huge human trafficking bust that happened in LA. More than 518 people were arrested. And then we were talking about all these facts and numbers that they've been given out by the whole Department of Homeland Security, and how it has decreased, how it has increased. And all this decrease, increase of white slave trafficking, human trafficking, and child trafficking, and all this stuff has happened because of the huge influx of migrants that has been occurring in through our borders. That is the main objective, the main problem. and how between 2018, 4,800 families, 4,800 fake families that were registered, and in 2019 it went down 1,000. Strict immigration policies work, huh? And also, Veronica Escobar not saying anything about the new Department of Homeland Security, how they said that since September till now, more than 200 fake families were registered and through El Paso. Why is she not saying anything about it? And the most illogical thing is she's married to an immigration judge. Why is not a topic for her? Why? Do I hear the word business? Money? Do I hear it? Do you guys hear it? Does it bring a little sound in your ear? The cashing machine? Does it bring a little sound in the ear? Ding, 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 ding. Nobody talking about child trafficking, human smuggling. Nobody talking about the 200 fake families registered right now, and the stat that it was given by the Department of Homeland Security. Does it bring a little sound to you here? Not talking about, you know, all these Rashida Tlaib's, Ilhan Omar's. Not talking about the white slavery, how 609 judicial cases were registered, and how it has decreased since 2015 till now. In 2018, 609 judicial cases. Why nobody's talking about, but the caravans they're not bringing none of this. All these activists and liberals are saying, you're wrong, Oscar Blue. The caravans are not. The caravans are not bringing all of this violence. You're wrong, Oscar Blue. You are bad. You're a fascist. You're a narcissist. You're a racist. You're a xenophobe. You're everything, Oscar Blue. Those are stats right there. Those are statistics and stats that they are given by the government of Mexico, by the Department of Homeland Security, and also by the Department of ICE. Now let me read it again real quick. I'm gonna read it again real quick so you guys can basically, you know, basically we talk about this, you know, on the first video. But let me read it for you so everybody can be on the same page of what was happening in the last video. Man, I'm having so much trouble this morning with my communication. So much trouble, man. This bothers me when I'm not having a good broadcast and a good live feed. Operation Reclaim and Rebuild. More than 518 were arrested. Along with the arrest, the authorities rescued near 90 adult and juvenile victims during a week-long operation. Mexico has invested more than $3 million since 2018 on systems and personnel for equipment and in reinforcement. What does this tell you? That the United States government has, you know, enforced Mexico to do, my God, bad broadcast today, to do reinforce the systems and to do better job on human trafficking and child smuggling. And ICE detected more than 4,800 fake families in 2018. And the Secretary of Exterior Relations is not, you know, working with the idea with ICE and also with the agents of the United States to do DNA testing on child trafficking, human smuggling, and all that stuff to fake families, practically. Why? Because we got the United Nations now in our system, and the United Nations is working with the International Commission of Human Rights, and basically both of them are telling the government of Mexico and you know, overruling our constitutional law and immigration law. This brings me to, you know, facts and stats that they are giving, and nobody of these congresswomen are talking about it. 609 judicial cases in 2018 were registered of white slave trafficking. It went down enormously in 2017. It was 298, 288 in 2016, and 250 in 2015. Why it went up? Of course, we already know that it went up because of the caravans. When you have a huge influx of migrants, there is a lot of business involved. You know, there's human trafficking, child trafficking, human smuggling, white slave trafficking, and also trafficking of organs. And this is amazing how of the victims that they were registered for human smuggling and child trafficking, in regards to the numbers on men and children, 15% of them were men, 66% were women. That talks about now the judicial cases and the increase on the judicial cases on the United States government, and 19% are children. It gives you an idea, people, that there's a crisis at the border. No, right? And on another topic that talks about the crisis at the border and crisis in cities, there was a huge bust, and I'm just going to say just a little, just to, you know, put it together, put the pieces together and put everything together for all these Democrats and liberals and all these people that say there's no crisis at the border. This is our Mexican government, and it's our country. But where do you think all these drugs were going to? More than 500 tons were busted at a house in Tijuana, and 5 people were arrested, which ones they were just being vigilant of the 500 tons of marijuana. Where do you think all these 500 tons were going? They were going to Japan, Thailand, Germany, Argentina, an island. They were going to the United States. And more, there's a huge drug bust in Tijuana. More than 500 tons of marijuana were busted. When this happens, is because this organized crime was not paying enough to the Mexican government, and they not let them, you know, cross this, or it was just too much. And all of this stuff talks about, and it goes back, all of these statistics and stats that I just gave you goes back right now to the #1 factor. That is why the President of the United States is so persistent with border security. Why? It is a crisis, yes. For citizens on our side in Mexico, it's always been a crisis in the border. And for citizens of the United States, it's always been the same. So it needs to stop. And somebody is doing something about it. And they're complaining because it's affecting their pockets. Especially these Congress people that they don't talk about child trafficking, human smuggling, and they only bring the separation of families. They're drinking water out of toilets. Oh my God. But they don't talk about this. That this is the #1 factor. Let's impeach the president. He's a bad person. Abuse of power. They don't talk about this. Let's end this first. And then you can judge a guy for how he behaves or how he talks. This. Good morning to everybody. How's everybody doing? God bless everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice. God bless everyone. Top of the morning of Friday. So you guys, if you guys are watching this video, this is the second part, as I was in a row on the first one, giving statistics and stats, and my feed was cut off. So it was bad. My feed was cut off, and of course, amazingly, you know, it dropped, and we're doing another one right now. We're doing another live feed. So God bless everybody that is watching. Follow my partner, Conservative Anthony, as he is running for Congress at District 16 of El Paso. Also, you can follow Senator Lee Whitten at District 28 of Texas. For you guys to follow her. She's doing a phenomenal job, being really vocal also about border security. Ultimately, it leads to other factors that she is advocating for more than border security, and specifically also Anthony. So follow those two. God bless everybody. I cannot take questions right now. You must excuse me. I need to get to work. God bless everybody that is watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful Friday and we can talk and chit chat tomorrow or today. Have a beautiful day. God bless you all. And always remember, peace and love, because always your country's first.